I've been riding motorcycles for over a decade. I've been on YouTube for over 9 years, and I made some mistakes.
Be advised, we have a pursuit.
I'm riding out here like a thief in the night, baby. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
Why do I have you on radar at 6? See your license, please.
Whoa! Oh, man. Oh! In this video, I'm going to tell you the mistakes I made so you don't make the same mistakes. And I'm going to have a little bit of fun on my supermoto.
Let's go for a ride. Subscribe today.
Yeah. Gonna have some fun today, baby. Whatever motorcycle you're riding out here, make sure you're wearing the gear. And I tell you, I have some awesome gear. If you want to get my gear like this, my favorite carbon fiber helmet with auto tint shield, my motovlog camera, airbag vest to help keep me safe, gauntlet gloves, all my gear always include links in the description and comment section of this video.
A big mistake I made back in the day is doing first gear clutch up wheelies, and as you can see here, I ended up looping this WR250R and it set me up for a real effed up day. You want to stick to doing second or third gear clutch up wheelies, and also don't underestimate the low end torque of an electric motorcycle and loop a wheelie like I did on this Suron X.
Yeah, I made some mistakes, guys. Seriously, early on, man, I made some mistakes, and right out of the gate, the first mistake I made that I highly recommend you don't
ride a supermoto off-road like you would a dual sport or a dirt bike. I learned the hard way on my bike. I rode it off-road and it was a hidden log and the 17-inch wheels didn't clear it. Threw me off the bike and I broke my collarbone. I had a real effed up day. When you ride a supermoto off-road, you can't stand on your pegs like a dirt bike and a dual sport that has a 21-inch front tire that can easily go over logs. 17-inch front wheels don't go over logs well. I learned the hard way. You have to stay seated and use your legs, and you have to assist the bike over logs. Also, the street tires don't get good grip, so it's hard to wheelie over logs. Speaking of crashing, recently I made a mistake where I took a corner too close to the curb where it tends to be a lot of gravel and my front wheel washed out, and it nearly set me up for an effed up day when I dropped the bike. So you definitely want to be careful on making turns close to the corner where gravel tends to be. Also, another mistake I learned the hard way is when you're dual sport riding on your dual sport and you're off-road, and you go through mud and snow and all the off-road elements, that gets on your tire, and your tire can easily lose traction and you'll low side like I did here. So you have to keep that in mind. When you go back to concrete, you have to be very cautious.
Another mistake that I made buying liter bikes. Riding around here slow on a fast bike is boring, guys. When you can rip the throttle, you rip on them, boy. Woohoo! And you're not doing triple digit speeds. You can't do that with liter bikes. You rip the throttle, you know what I'm saying? It's too powerful for what you need out here on the streets. It's like I said, you'll end up losing your license. That's why I think I'm pretty much done with liter bikes unless I get into track riding, man, where I can really have fun with it. These smaller bikes, I'm telling you, is where it's at, man. For you noobs out there, don't listen to these cats out there telling you to get you a liter bike or a super sport or something. Get you the smaller bike. You can rip them around. You can throw them around. They're super lightweight. You'll have more fun. Trust me. Somebody that has owned several liter bikes out here, guys. The liter bikes are just going to get you in trouble out here and get you a ticket. You end up losing your license. Or even worse yet, be put in jail with the booty warrior.
In his prison, booty was more important than food.
Speaking of speed, another big mistake I learned the hard way with is underestimating a police officer's radar that's on their car. They actually have a radar attached on the front and back of their car, and they can be backwards towards you and catch you a half mile away like they did me in this park here. And this is the biggest ticket I got yet. I do advise getting a traffic lawyer because that's what I did. and that way you don't have to go to court, and they reduced it down to a broken tail light, so I got no points and my insurance didn't go up. Boom.
Another mistake that I made was really kind of like going into these woods with my dual sport, guys, by myself. Really, that's kind of dangerous to do out here, especially seeing as how I broke my collarbone, man. I couldn't imagine if you got like you fell off your bike, you knocked your head, and then you're unconscious out there in the woods by yourself. That's why you really don't see me messing around in the woods like I used to, man. Unless you go in there with a friend or something, man. Go in there with somebody. Don't go in there by yourself. Yeah, another mistake that I made is buying a brand new bike as my first bike with the 2011 CBR 250i that I bought in the past. Bought it new. Even though I sold it, I only lost like a couple $100 on the trade-in. But if you buy used, oftentimes you can even make money on a beginner bike. And also, it's very likely you're going to crash your new bike too. So why get this brand new bike that you're going to crash? Even though I didn't crash my CBR 250R. Another mistake that I made is early on, I didn't use torque wrenches. Always use a torque wrench for every nut, bolt, and even some screws on the bike. Because I tell you, I've stripped some bolts that way.
And I learned this the hard way when I did my very first YZ450FX oil change. When I was putting on the oil filter cover, I tightened a bolt too tight and the head broke off. And I had a hell of a time getting that bolt out.
Get a torque wrench, guys, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Get good tools. You don't have to get, go and buy Snap-on tools. Harbor Freight tools are good, believe it or not. But even those you got to be careful of. Because you can get some cheap crappers there too, man. Another mistake I made, gear. Early on, I was like a lot of you guys. I just got me a helmet, and I had me a little cheap jacket. I got like the cheapest motorcycle jacket I could get. Had no CE armor in it, and I wore jeans. And I had some tennis shoes, like some Jordans on or something. I tell you guys, if you crash wearing jeans and you're wearing a cheap jacket, it's like almost like wearing nothing. Because I scraped my arm, my knee got scraped up with the jeans on, and at that point I said, you know what, because I crashed that Chinese scooter, by the way. When I crashed that, I was going around a corner in some torrential rain, and those tires, dry rotted, cheap made tires. But I'm telling you, I went and got some proper gear. It pays to wear good gear. And another mistake I made was not wearing the airbag vest all the time. Get an airbag vest. Link in the description, the comment section of this video, guys. I'm telling you. And also, another mistake I made was I wore helmets back in the day that were 2 sizes too big. Walking around looking like a bobblehead, big old head. You know what I'm saying? All head. Looking like Charlie Charles out here with a big old head. Crazy, man. Helmet all moving around. I'd be riding and my helmet would slide down. I couldn't see. I had to keep adjusting it, because the mistake that a lot of people make, and myself included, is that when you get a new helmet, you'll put it on, you'll be like, oh, it's too tight, it's too small. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that, over time your head's gonna fit into it perfectly and it's gonna adjust. A lot of people will put it on, they think it's too tight, and they'll go a size or 2 up, which is the worst thing you can do, and that's what I did. You don't want to do that, man, because you want it to fit tight. So if you're ever thrown from your bike, your helmet's not gonna move around or come off, which could set you up for a real effed up day. So definitely make sure you get the right gear. Leave a comment below. Tell me some of the mistakes that you've made, and I would love to hear it. And maybe it can help all of us. That's why I do these videos, to help incite community discussion, and we can all learn together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, baby. I love it, baby. I love this bike. But anyways, don't forget to subscribe to my All About Motorcycle channel, and make sure to check out my other channel, Bug Out Moto. Deuces.
Thumbs up. Check out my playlist for new riders and popular videos. Don't forget to comment and subscribe and check out my other channel, Bug Out Moto, where I customize a van for my motorcycle so I can live in my van with my motorcycle and travel across the country anywhere. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bug Out Moto.